Hey guys, welcome back to the OpenAPI Architect. In this episode of Tracking Your Life the Smart Way with Gemini AI, we'll be replacing our Streamlit backend with a dedicated agent engine running on a FastAPI server that's utilizing the Google Agent Development Kit to create a multi-agent system. Okay, before we do that, as a quick recap, we had three personas: the analyst, Dr. Aris Thorne, then the pragmatist, Alistair Finch, and the catalyst, Dr. Elara Vance. And we were able to trigger a newsletter briefing from each of these personas via the newsletter tab here and then selecting the right persona. And instead of triggering each persona individually, we'll have a multi-agent system where we can trigger all the personas at once. So how does this multi-agent system look like? So we have a router agent, our dispatcher, that can call our log entry tool, our task manager tool, our background info tool, but also trigger the insights engine workflow. So the insights engine workflow looks like this. It triggers three agents in parallel: our debate team, the visionary agent, the architect agent, and the commander agent. Each of these sub-agents gives us a report, which is then synthesized by the judge agent and returned to the user. So as a quick recap, this was our refined agent team: the commander, who is a grand strategist and field marshal and known as the Rommel of the boardroom. Then we have the architect, who is our systems analyst and a guardian of Arete, and he worked at SpaceX and Google X and judges everything through the laws of physics. Then we have the visionary, so he sees life as a product to be designed, believes in beautiful solutions, has a Silicon Valley background, and is mentored by a reclusive Zen master in Kyoto. And finally, our judge, who finds the golden thread and combines all the three reports. And regarding his background, he served as the White House Chief of Staff during a global crisis. Alright, let's try this out. Let's go to our Streamlit application and let's engage with the agent via chat. So it returned a response, and we can also do audio. What can you do? So this is the same functionality that we had before, but now we can also trigger our agent process, and then it tells us what we should do next. So the visionary tells us to define our core values and not just a series of tasks. The architect instead nudges us to set up our weekly fitness schedule system with non-negotiable time slots to overcome my challenge of proactive planning. The commander instead is all about the first strike, so it wants me to execute my 30-minute workout now before I do anything else. And finally, we're ending with a quote. And since we asked for a newsletter report of our next steps, we can find the same advice in our inbox. Here are our next steps that we also saw in the chat. And this newsletter report is interactive, so we can also track our mood here with an emoji, which forwards us to our Streamlit app, and then we can find the mood tracking here in this overview. Before you can receive any newsletter report, you have to be subscribed to the newsletter, so you can also unsubscribe and resubscribe. And regarding the code, we refactored our Streamlit application Gemini multimodal demo to use our Google Agent Development Kit FastAPI backend, which we can find in the server.py file in the Gemini ADK live tracker demo repository. And this FastAPI server uses the Agent Development Kit to interact with a router agent, which is an LM agent that has access to tools like logging entries, updating our background info, or managing tasks. And on top of our simple CRUD tools, we also have an agent tool that triggers our insights engine workflow. So this is a sequential agent with two sub-agents: our insight team agent and the judge agent. So the insight team agent is a parallel agent making use of three sub-agents: our visionary, our architect, and our commander. Okay, and finally, regarding interacting with the FastAPI service, we have an OpenAPI spec that shows the endpoints that our Streamlit application can call via the FastAPI ADK backend. And this OpenAPI YAML can be visualized via a Swagger editor. So here we can see all the endpoints for tasks, text inputs, and background info with their respective methods: get, put, or post. And as an example, let's take a look at the metrics endpoint here, where we can see our daily mood for a user. So we just copy the request URL, then we copy it to our browser, and here we can see our mood. So today, on July 6th, my mood is amazing, and on July 5th, it was good. And you can also see we have a created at timestamp and an updated at timestamp. So if you accidentally select the wrong mood, you can always change it later. Okay, I hope you guys liked this episode of integrating the Agent Development Kit into our Streamlit application. You can find all the code on GitHub, and the links are in the description. Let me know your thoughts on using the Agent Development Kit for multi-agent systems in the comments, or if there's anything you would like to see next. Leave a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye!